what was your aim when you set out to make Bluebird?
I was inspired in large part by the landscape of northern Maine where we shot the film. I grew up in Maine and I had always been very fascinated by the sort of mythology of the place. So I really was first inspired by the location and the visual backdrop. And then from there, I wanted to find a way to explore this town and the people and sort of the sort of desperate circumstances that they're going through. And using this central event of the boy who's been left on a bus overnight, I found was an apt situation and metaphor and a great entry point into the way that we explore these different people who live in this town and sort of the hardships and the issues that they're dealing with.
John Slattery from Mad Men plays the husband, and I must confess that I didn't recognize him for a couple of minutes. Do you know what it was that led him to accept the role?
I think that he was really interested in playing someone who wasn't wearing a suit. That was a big part of it. He's also from New England, so he understands the sensibility and the kind of the emotional perspective of New Englanders and their kind of resolve and their stoicism and the kind of emotional distancing that can happen. So I think he responded to it emotionally as sort of being from that sort of world. And then again, like as a way to sort of explore a different sort of side of himself as an actor. He has a tremendous range, and he's a director as well, and really began in theater. So he beyond just his work on television, he's actually quite broad in his characterizations, and I think this provided a new perspective for him.
Without wishing to give anything away, some of the terrible things that could have happened in the film didn't happen in the end. Was that your intention from the beginning, or had you considered a harsher conclusion?
I'd considered harsher conclusions. I think earlier versions of this story ended differently. But I think working over time and thinking about the story and really kind of spending time in the world, I sort of began to understand that what felt right emotionally was that everyone in the film sort of takes a baby step towards resolution, or a baby step towards coming together as a family. And the film is really just about this very slow kind of slight transformation in the characters. So to me, the film sort of begins in one place and ends somewhere different. And there is a change that the characters go through, but it's a sort of a small step, and people change sort of at the pace that they do in real life. So yeah, I had considered more extremes on happier, sadder, but I think the truth to life is ultimately somewhere in the middle.